everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Andrea. It's nice to have you guys here. I'm trying to get back into a routine and a rhythm and a habit for filming. If you've been following me for at least this past summer, you'll know it hasn't been the easiest summer. And so far, it hasn't been the easiest fall. Technically, fall hasn't started, but as I mentioned in an upcoming video that I filmed yesterday, I kind of feel like the start of the fall semester is the start of fall. I'm back at work, I'm back at school, therefore it must be fall. Never mind the fact that it's been, up until today, it's been like 105 most days, like on average. Today, however, it's supposed to only get up to 97. Oh, so excited. Yeah, if the light does anything weird, it's because it's a mostly sunny but somewhat cloudy day, so I can tell the sun just went behind a cloud, but I just wanted to get the camera set up and get filming, and yeah, not gonna worry about technical difficulties. So today I have a monthly favorites video. Got everything written down in my planner. As I was sitting down just now to kind of think of, okay, what was I loving throughout the month of August? It kind of turned out that it's a lot of old favorites. There are some new things, but yeah, I don't know if it's just because of everything I've been going through emotionally and I've been turning back to like old favorites, old faithfuls, or what, but yeah. So I'm just gonna dive right in and stop waffling. The sun's coming back out. So also, new thing, and I guess another August favorite was I dyed my hair pink. Well, I didn't do it. My amazing stylist, Chelsea, dyed it for me. She does all of my hair stuff. And then yesterday, so technically I feel like this would be a September favorites, I got bangs. There's gonna be more changes coming to my hair over the next couple months, but I can't yet do the things that I really want to do in terms of the cut because it is still quite hot. So I still need a bit more length to be able to put it up in a ponytail and a bun and things like that on the hot days. I know I wanted to do bangs. I still want to do more with the bangs, but for now, with the weather we're having and the hint of a cool down that's on the way, I thought I could get away with just some really wispy bangs that I can do like side swept or parted down the middle, or just blow dry them straight back to do a ponytail and pretend like I don't have bangs. So yeah, so dyeing my hair pink, I got it touched up on Friday 2 days ago and got the bangs put in, but the overall color is definitely an August favorite. I'm so happy I did it. I'm loving it. Moving from hair into skincare favorite. My skin has been going through so much between several months now of really high heat and then all of the emotional stress of my breakup and then school starting and then just everything that's going on. My skin has been breaking out. It hasn't always been a happy camper the last month or so that I've noticed it's got really bad. And so the thing that has been helping is the Eminence facial recovery oil. I have mentioned this before several times on my channel in various videos. This is, I know there's another product called Liquid Gold, but this is like my miracle in a bottle liquid gold. It doesn't matter how bad of a breakout I have. It doesn't matter how badly I think it's going to scar and leave a mark and take forever to heal, or feel like sometimes I'll get marks that I feel like that's never going to heal. That is going to leave a permanent scar, and it doesn't because of this. So I have a few breakouts in recent memory that I can think of where I swore it was going to leave a scar and now I can't even see where they are. So I've had a few breakouts on this side of my face and I have just been making sure to use this morning and night every time I wash my face, and it takes time, but I know that like a month from now I'm not even going to see that these marks were there. So love that stuff. Fragrance favorite, another old favorite, is the Polly scent by Ted Baker London. I've got this little bottle. This came in a gift set that I got the last time I was in London. I love this and I've been picking it up a lot this past month. August has been really hot, but this is a really nice light fragrance. It's not It's not heavy, it's not cloying, it's just very light and fresh and floral. It's got a bit of peony and then a few other scents mixed in. So for mid to late summer, this just seems to be what I reach for. I bought a couple new fragrances this summer, earlier in the summer, that just felt more like springtime, and so as we moved into like high summer, this is the one that I started turning to, and love it. Didn't really have a makeup favorite. I was just using a little bit of everything. A lot of just my old stuff, like nothing has kind of risen up as something that has been my main go-to. I've tried a couple new things, but none kind of reached the status of favorite, and then there's been just a lot of older existing products in rotation that I'm still using and still loving. Fashion favorites is my new backpack. I mentioned this in my back to school haul. I have been loving this. It has been so great. I love the color. It obviously goes with a lot in my wardrobe, so the color has been great. It holds just enough and prevents me from overpacking. I am going to film eventually a what's in my work bag and show you all the things that I take with me to class and how everything fits. Candle favorite, again, it's an old one, and this is an old packaging. They do still have this, but they've updated the packaging, and that is the London candle by Bath & Body Works. It's a tea and lemon scent. Oh, and I love it. This is a fresh one, but I finished burning, but in the month of August, I finished burning the other one that I have. So I still have a fresh one. I will continue hanging on to this because I'm now fully into fall scents. But I find that by August, I'm getting a little bit tired of my spring and summer candles. I'm getting a little tired of the florals, but August does, even for me, feel a little too soon, just a tad too soon for fall candles. I mean, in full disclosure, I did start burning my first fall candle by the end of August, but for most of August it was this candle, the other jar of it that I have. The tea scent with the lemon is still fresh, and it still feels, it's a good transitional candle. I analyze candles way too much. I acknowledge that. I feel like this is a good transitional candle. It's great when you're transitioning from winter scents into spring, summer, and it's great when you're transitioning from summer into fall, because it's neither fully winter nor fully summer, if that makes sense. So I've been loving this. It still smells fresh with the lemon, but the tea kind of just anchors it, if that makes sense. So yeah, love this. Now we're getting into things that I can't hold up. So self-care. Well, one of the things I can hold up in the self-care category. One of the things I've started doing as a form of self-care is knitting. I have two co-workers that are absolutely brilliant and beautiful knitters, and every time we get together, they're always working on something, and I just always kind of tease, like, I'm gonna have to learn how to knit one day. And so they offered to teach me. So I started off by watching some videos on YouTube, but once I got the basic knit and purl stitches down, then they started sharing patterns. So the first project I started was a scarf, and I'm still finishing it up, but it is almost done. And it's this pattern, which is called a palindrome. I got this off of Ravelry. They mentioned this pattern because I wanted to learn cable knitting, and I kind of feel like I jumped into the deep end with this, but it's beautiful. It's the same pattern on both sides. So normally when you cable knit, the back side will look different, and like the majority of the beautiful cabling is on the front side, but it's on both sides, and I can't believe I've knit this. I really can't. So it's about this long now. I'm finishing up the last skein of it. I'm not making it a full-length scarf because it's so thick, so I'm going to do it as more of an infinity cowl scarf. So this is almost done, but then the other project I've started is a pair of socks, and this I keep it in my little Ted Baker wash bag, and it's just when I'm on the go and need something little to take with me. It's very portable. So I've been learning how to knit socks using double pointed needles, which is a bit complicated, but I think I'm doing pretty well, and I'm using the Hermione's Everyday Socks pattern. So I have this yarn that I got at this yarn shop in Mesa. I'm absolutely in love with the yarn. I just think it's making the most beautiful pair of socks, and I love the pattern. So knitting has definitely become like something that I can do just as a way of de-stressing myself, and it's been really helpful. Another thing that's helped me in terms of self-care is kind of tweaking my priorities a bit. So there are two things that I have started doing every day without fail, and I've been keeping this up for 2 weeks now, almost 3. Yesterday was the first day I didn't do one of the things, but I'm gonna do an extra session of it today. And so those things are, every morning I do 15 minutes of yoga, at least 15 to 20 minutes, and then I might do more in the evening, but I at least get 15 minutes in during the day in the morning. And that's been really important on teaching days, because then I'm on campus all day and I'm running around, and I feel like by starting with some really good stretching and yoga, it's just helping me get through those days. And then I follow that with 30 minutes of editing my novel. With school starting and with lesson planning and grading and course readings and like everything that I have to do, it's so easy to say, I'll do that later with my personal stuff, with things like editing my novel. But it's really important, and I do want to self-publish it, and I want to do that sooner rather than later. I'm not sure that before London is going to be completely feasible, but I also don't want to keep putting it off. So I'm making myself do 30 minutes every day, a little bit more on the weekends if I can. And it's just, because writing for me is meditative, starting my day with roughly 45 minutes of yoga and editing, writing, has really made a difference in kind of my mental state throughout the day and throughout the week. So yeah, if there's anything that you enjoy doing but keep putting off because you've got other more important stuff to do, I would say rethink that strategy. And even if it's just 15 minutes, give yourself that time every day to do whatever that task or activity that you enjoy is. Because yes, we're busy. Yes, we all have a lot going on. I know a lot of you are other academics and grad students, working professionals. Like, our lives are busy, but that doesn't mean we have to be all work and no play or self-care, if that makes sense. TV show, I swear there's another TV show that I watched and I'm completely drawing a blank, so it'll probably get added into my September favorites, but I didn't want to wait any longer to film this video. But an old favorite TV show that I've been rewatching is Downton Abbey. So pretty much all of August was spent watching Downton Abbey. I've got the final episode of the final season to watch, and I'll probably watch that tonight. I'm not gonna wait, but I've been rewatching the whole series ahead of the movie coming out later this month, and yeah, absolutely love that show. I wish there was more than 6 seasons. I wish each season was more than just like 7 or 8 episodes long. It's just, it's never enough. I'm so glad there's going to be a movie, and yeah, love that show. Movie, again, another old favorite. And again, I feel like there was a newer movie that I watched earlier in the month and I just can't remember, but it must not have been a favorite if I can't remember it. But an old movie that I rewatched and remembered how much I love this movie is Notting Hill. I had not watched it in at least 5 years, probably closer to 10. And it recently had its 20th anniversary. So it had like popped up recently back into like on my radar, but I hadn't watched it in a while and thought, you know, oh, I should watch it. And so when I saw it on view, on option, I'm like, I'm gonna watch this, and oh my gosh, it holds up really well, and it's still just so cute and such a funny movie. So if you've never watched Notting Hill, because maybe you were 5 when it came out 20 years ago, watch it. And if you're like me and you just haven't watched it in a really long time, give it a rewatch. It is totally worth it. If I keep looking off to the sides, because that's where I put my planner with my list. Music favorites. I have been trialing Apple Music and I am a convert. I'm loving it, and I'm definitely going to pay for it once the free trial ends. It has been so worth it. I've been rediscovering so much old music finding a lot of new artists, like just as a general music favorite, definitely Apple Music. I know a lot of people love Spotify, and Amazon Prime has their own music streaming service. So because I already have a very extensive iTunes music library, I wanted to stay within the Apple family so that like everything I'm liking and listening to and downloading from Apple Music just fits well with my existing music library. So that's why I chose Apple Music, but I have been loving it. A new artist that I've discovered through Apple Music is Ludovico Einaudi. I know I'm mispronouncing that. I'm a bad Italian. I'll put it on the screen so you can see the spelling, but he's a piano musician, and his music is just amazing. I've loved the album Elements, and I've been listening to that a lot, especially the song Night is just beautiful. I mean, look it up listening to it. I love that song. I also really love his song Ascent from I think it's called the 7 Days Walking series. And so I've been listening to each of the albums in that. There's currently 6 albums, there's going to be 7, and it's all the same songs on each album, but from one album to the next, each song gets like tweaked and reimagined. And Ascent, all the versions of Ascent, I love. So he's a new favorite. And then 2 new albums by old favorites. I'm loving the new Taylor Swift album. We'll come back to that. I'm also loving the new Ed Sheeran Collaborations album. It's amazing. There's quite a few songs on that I really love, but particularly Beautiful People, I Don't Care, and there's another one that I'm drawing a blank on. I'll put it on the screen, but it's about having a broken heart. I think it's called something like That's the Way to Break My Heart or something like that, but I feel that song. Going back to Taylor Swift, there's a lot of songs on that album that are just really helping me kind of process my breakup and my broken heart. Songs that are either like where I feel I'm at right now, or songs that feel like where I am hoping and I'm sure I will get to one day. I'm loving the first cut off the album, I Forgot That You Existed. I'm not there yet, but I hope that one day I will be. It's just a great upbeat song. Also, 1,000 Paper Cuts. Definitely feeling that song a lot right now. So yeah, loving that album and loving Apple Music and everything. So now that I have Apple Music, if you have any music recommendations, artists, albums that you want me to check out, particularly anything that's got that kind of cozy acoustic fall vibe type feel, let me know in the comments. Podcast. The podcast Bundyville, seasons 1 and 2. I binge listened to season 1 in like a day. There were like 7 episodes, and I started listening and I could not stop. At one point I was just sitting on the couch knitting while listening to this podcast. It's broadly about kind of I don't want to say the resurfacing, but it's about white supremacy and kind of gets into neo-Nazism a little bit tangentially in the United States, as well as domestic terrorism kind of gets woven into this. It's really good. Season 1 is primarily about one specific person and a case around that person, and season 2 kind of gets into a lot of things that were related to stuff talked about in season 1. So loved that. Listened to season 2 in like 2 days, so went through both seasons really quickly. And then book favorite is the book A Fire Sparkling. I don't have my Kindle to hold it up, but I will be doing, I've already filmed my books I read in August. I will do a detailed review in that, but if you don't watch that video, but you still want a book review, check out A Fire Sparkling. It's really good. Just look it up, read the synopsis. I'm not gonna go into it right now, but it was really good. And I'll talk more about it in the next video. And then I think that's it. That's my favorites for the month of August. It was a lot. This has been a bit long. All of these things, one way or another, have really just kind of helped keep me as calm as possible, and yeah, they've been helping me in a variety of ways. Still stressed, I'm still going through a lot, but I feel like some of these things, whether they're the products or like the new self-care routine, are just helping me get through everything. You know, the stress that I'm dealing with and the emotional stuff that I'm dealing with, none of it is something that's going to get fixed overnight, but the things that we use and the strategies that we employ and the elements of self-care that we engage in, or the self-care activities that we engage in, all help get through things. So I'm gonna shut up. My mom is outside. We're gonna go to Zinc, which we haven't been to in 2 weeks because we went to Sierra Vista last week, so I'm really excited. So I need to put my shoes on and get my bag and get going. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe if you are not subscribed, and I will see you all soon in the next video. Thank you very much for watching this one. Bye-bye.